And welcome to another Bible study that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. I am Esaac ben Israel, and I'm the elder priest of the United Congregation of Israel. And I'm joined here with the under priest, Priest Kish. Shalom, my brother.
Shalom.
All right. So when we get into topics and things of that nature, we don't we don't do battle script. We don't try to, throw scriptures at people in a debating form, but there comes a time when you must debate doctrine because there's a difference of opinion. And when we get in this book, we find that there was, great disputings between Saul and other Jews. It's interesting that people will say that these Hebrew Israelites are always debating. And they act like they don't read this book and find that Yahshua, the one that they claim that they love, Christ was always, fixing the doctrine, putting the things in right order. And it is amazing because it's almost like the thought of there's together in Christianity. If Christianity was together, it wouldn't be 1,000 denominations. The denominations show that there is no togetherness. What you have is people who have agreed to disagree to promote a like agenda. But if they agreed, it wouldn't be all these different divisions. So you're going to have this part when it comes down to dealing with Scripture. So on the Sabbath day, we did a teaching about the heart of the eunuch, and that will be on our website at theuci.org. We kind of felt like we were going to get banned anyway because but we're working on getting that up there. But the side part of that was dealing with some things in angels, and sometimes when you deal with angels, you touch a very touchy chord with some people, and not necessarily about what they've heard since they've been in the Word. A lot of times these are prior beliefs that we don't let go, and instead of dealing with those correctly, we intertwine those things together. I grew up in a house that had a huge chest in it full of angel figurines. And eventually my mother grew and got rid of all of those statues and that case, that big open glass case that it was in. So, but that's one of the things of growth that you say, wait a minute, this is starting to look like a bunch of idols and things like that. So, but everybody moves in their own time. So one of the things that we were given as a rebuttal, if you will, was Genesis 1:26, that there was a question about that. So I want to go into it. Let's go to Genesis chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 26. And what ends up happening when we are hell-bent on dealing with something in a certain way, we can't see it any other way. We can't see another vantage point. We just can't. And this is where you find things that are written that says to let those that have ears to hear. What do you mean? How many people were born without ears? There's physical ears, and then there's spiritual ears. They're not the same. Everybody that has two things hanging off their head can't hear spiritually. Genesis chapter 1, and let's start that at verse 26.
And Elohim said, let us make man in our image.
Okay, so the first thing we have to do, the second word here, Elohim. When you have people that they keep pushing the one, Elohim is one. First of all, Elohim is a plural word. El is singular. Elohim is plural. you have to then ask yourself a question. Why is there a plural definition for God? But yet, you have them that say, there's one Elohim. They don't understand what an entity is. What happens is because people don't understand the difference between an entity and a person. Like, I'm a person, this is a person. But together in this body is one entity. We are one. We operate as one. But there are many members. There are people behind this camera that you don't see. There are people in that studio that you don't see. There's one entity. That entity is called the UCI. But it's not one person. It's one entity. You have to understand the definition of words before you get your heart all pumped up into something that you don't understand. Coca-Cola is one entity. Do you understand how many people work at Coca-Cola? One entity does not mean one person. There is a governmental system that's set up with somebody at the top. And when that person says, can I get y'all to do this? Boom. All these people then move together to do that. At the end of the day, they're going to say, that man did that. But that man didn't do that. The entity did that. Shlomo said, I have built you a house. You ever seen, show me a picture of Shlomo with a hammer. Shlomo ain't built no a house physically, but he was the one in charge of the building. He's in charge of the entire entity of the building. So he is orchestrating it. But that don't mean he carrying the sand. That don't mean he making the brick. That don't mean he built the ladder. So because you may read somewhere where it says, this exceeding magnificent house that I have built, don't go look and say, man, how that one man built this whole house? He didn't. We have to learn how to slow down and define some things before we get to that point of throwing a whole lot of things out. So we're just at the second word here, and Elohim. So understand that that is a plural word when you're dealing with Elohim. El is singular. Go ahead.
If you want to break this down in simplicity, we know it was translated. So if you're that lost, I'll do it this way. And the gods said, let us make man in our image. Now,
what we were presented with as a question was, our image must be put in an error. That it must not have been accurate when it was listed. So, this hour was just something that they threw in, the King James and things like that. So this was an error according to some thought processes. So it says, let us make man in our image after our likeness. Go ahead.
And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth.
Now, it was said that our was incorrect. So the question then becomes, is our a typo? Is it a typo? Was it not supposed to be there? Now, I went into the Brenton Bible, which is based off the Septuagint, and I got the same thing. Let us make man in our image. But what I want to go to now is Genesis chapter 11.
Brothers, we're going there. It says, and Elohim said, let us make man in our image, right? Mm-hmm. And we know we're also told not to create any idols, any image. Mm-hmm. So I asked a couple of the brothers, okay, so Elohim made you in his image, right? He made me in his image, but you and I don't look alike.
Right.
So what does Elohim look like? Does he look like you or does he look like me?
Interesting question. Interesting question. Go ahead. I want you to start at verse 5. Genesis 11 and start at verse 5.
And Yahweh came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men built.
Now, Did Yahweh come down himself? Or did he send somebody in his stead to come for him? Go ahead.
And Yahweh said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down.
Wait, who's us? Who's us? If us was a typo in Genesis 1 and 26, is it also a typo in Genesis 11 and 7? Who is us? Now, if he was Jamaican, he would have said, let we. So it says, go to, let we go down. Yeah. So should it say we? Should it say, what's happening, man? Is this a typo? He said, let us go down, because this is a job that has to be done. And understand something. It says, let us go down and there confound their language. Wait a minute. If you're going to confound the language all over the earth, and you're going to do that at the same time, that means when somebody's working over here, somebody else is working over there. Let us go down and confound their language. Us. So what is that saying? There is a governmental structure already in place before man was ever thought of. And what happens is when we can't figure some things out, here comes our imagination. And if you add some imagination with some mountain weed, you ain't no telling what you're going to come up with when you put them two together. Sometimes you just got to leave well enough alone. I don't know. Leave it's fine. Stay right there. But when you take I don't know, but I want to know, and you get that wacky tobacco, and now you just come up with something, now you got some issues. Go ahead, Prince.
Now, when we look at Genesis, this is Moshe being told how creation came about. So if I'm telling Moshe how I created the earth, and I did it myself, why would I say, and then, I said, let us go make man in our image if I did it all? Why wouldn't I say, I thought to myself, why don't I make man in my image? So I created man in my image. I'm telling him the story. He's writing this as I'm giving it to him.
Well, verse 8, so Yahweh scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth. Well, he said, so I scattered. So we don't understand when there's, and for the life of me, I don't know why we don't understand that. We have jobs. We understand that there are departments in those places where we work. We understand that things are handed down through those departments, and then the various managers of those departments then give instructions to the people that they are over. How is that all of a sudden not understood when we pick up the book?
If you mention Amazon, who is Amazon? You see old boy's face everywhere, right?
Yep.
But is he driving all these doggone trucks making all these deliveries?
I seen Jesus came here earlier today. So that's what I seen. Go ahead.
What do we have?
All right, so we got that right there. So I want you to go to Genesis chapter 14.
I'll restart now in Genesis 15.
Verse 17. So that you won't just think that it is our thought process that there's a governmental structure. There's a governmental structure in heaven before there is an Israel. See, Jerusalem is the Jerusalem. Go ahead.
And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer and of the kings that were with him at the valley of Shaveh, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem.
King of Salem. See, what we have with Jerusalem is a smaller version of a heavenly place. There's already a king. So now I ask again, is let us make man, is it a typo? See, here's the thing. we're so busy trying to prove whether there's another God. There's an entire governmental structure. He could have been saying us to the angels. He could have been saying us to anybody. There's an entire setup already there. We're talking about a king and a priest. We're talking about order. How all of a sudden does us become a typo? Go ahead.
Brought forth bread and wine. And he was the priest of the Most High Elohim.
He's the priest of the Most High Elohim and brought forth bread and wine. Wait a minute. The very things that we have here set up on earth were already set up in heaven. Go ahead.
So if he's the priest of the Most High Elohim and we were given sacrifices that have to go before the priest, they're up there with Yahweh. Why don't they just present it to Yahweh? And he blessed him and said, blessed be Abram of the Most High Elohim, possessor of heaven and earth. Mm-hmm. And blessed be the Most High Elohim.
Now, here it is. He understands who he's working for. He's not there on his own accord. He is there because there is a governmental system, there is order, and he is serving a purpose. Go ahead.
Which has delivered your enemies into your hand, and he gave him tithes of all.
All right, so now we have tithes being paid, but there is no Levitical law that tells you to pay tithes. Not yet. But it's already there. So to further prove this governmental system even more, let's go to Job chapter 1. And what you find when you start dealing with these things is there is a real push to deal with these mystical things, because this is what people already are attracted to. So when they get into the word, they find a way to connect the word to the same mystical things that they want to do anyway. So Job chapter 1, and start that at verse 6.
Now there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them.
Now, the sons of Elohim in this case are angels. Satan comes as well. So then these angels have to make an appearance before Yahweh. This is governmental structure. He has an order. So these angels are making their appearance. So it was recently told to me that you can't put limitations on angels. They can do whatever they want to do. They can get put in chains. This is order. Now, here is Satan. Now, if he's all, Captain Unruly, and he can do whatever he wants, I mean, he ain't got to do nothing. Why he coming back to make his appearance? Remember the apostle Paul says, I must by all means keep this feast that is at Jerusalem. I have to go back. What Lucifer going for? If he is Captain Disobedient, matter of fact, he is the king of all the disobedient. Why he going? Oh, so even that there's some order that's so strong that even he has to obey the order. Now that is quite interesting. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, whence cometh you? Mm-hmm. Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
That's what you always ask somebody when you ain't seen them. Where you been? Where you been? Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, have you considered my servant Job?
Now, he doesn't have to say any other thing because he know what he do. Have you considered him? I know what you've been doing because I know what you do. Now let's go to Job chapter 2. Start at verse 1.
Again, there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh.
Again, there was a day. Once again, there is order. Now, here we go. And here comes Captain Disobedient. What is he doing? Go ahead.
And Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh.
Right. Right. Satan came also to present himself before Yahweh. He ain't going to miss his appearance. Now, he can do what he wants to. Why he keep doing this? He know when he crossed that line, he better be ready to go to war. Go ahead.
You know, even with the separation, it says again, and there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves.
Uh-huh.
And then it says, and Satan came also. Do you now say that, well, see, Satan ain't a son of Elohim? The whole presentation, the whole
That's
setup.
an interesting statement right there, brother. Because I recently heard that once somebody do something that wasn't right, that they lose the ability to be called a son of Elohim as soon as they do it. So at this point, Satan should not even be allowed up there.
Nope.
And he said, "Hey man, where you been? I get out there, walking up and down there. Well, go back. Go back. Don't come back here no more. Go ahead."
And Yahweh said unto Satan, from whence cometh you? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Uh-huh.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, have you considered my servant Job?
Now, once again, these things are taking place at these holy days where there's an appearance to be made. So let's go to Exodus chapter 23 so that we can have some earthly reference for these heavenly things that are happening right now. See, that's part of the problem why we can't deal with things in righteousness. We think that this is just some earthly thing. Exodus 23.
You know, even in this situation here, you see these are two separate occasions where Satan comes along to make an appearance, right?
Uh-huh.
And what he's doing has not changed.
Nope.
The first thing you asked him what he was doing is the same thing he answered the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
So if he was messed up the first time, then you could have said right there, hey man, don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
You cut off.
Mm-hmm.
But yet again, he's back a second time.
Right.
Even going out and proving to Yahweh what he's up to, because Yahweh said, do you consider Job? And he went right after Job.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're doing. Exodus
23 and read verse 17.
Three times in the year, all your males shall appear before the Adonai Yah.
So, what was happening in Job? Well, the angels were making their appearance. You have the exact same thing that is given unto us among men, that we are to make our appearance 3 times in the year. Sabbath day night, we are making an appearance. We are doing one of these very things that are being done in heaven. As it is written, let it be done on earth as it is in heaven. That don't mean we can just make up something in heaven and then say, well, we doing it because it's there. No, we have instructions here. And understand, our sanctification of the third day needs to start by Thursday sundown, so that we have our Friday, Saturday night, we make our appearance. That's Sunday. That's the third day. Sanctify yourself today and tomorrow against the third day, so that we make our appearance and we are spiritually clean when we make that appearance. So understand what's happening right there. 3 times in the year shall all your males appear, and here is Lucifer 2 of those times. There's no other one mentioned. So the only time we have angels make an appearance, Lucifer is there, both of them. Now, if that doesn't say anything or something profound, I don't really know what does. So let's go to Colossians chapter 2.
Restart.
Start at verse 6.
As you have therefore received Yahshua HaMashiach the Adonai, so walk you in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. After the
and this is how things are going to come. Philosophy and vain deceit. They're going to make it sound so deep. Oh, they're going to make it sound so profound. But who has bewitched you against the simplicity that's in the Mashiach? Go ahead.
After the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahshua.
These tradition of men. Half the time when you find some people off into something, it was something that they was already into before. They picked up the tradition from being around other people. So these things don't have anything to do with Yahweh. These are things that they like, and they find a way to put that in and mix it up in Yahweh's word. Go ahead.
For in him dwells all the fullness of the Godhead, or the Elohim head, bodily.
Wait a minute. What is that? That's a governmental system. That's a governmental system. So it's always interesting when people say, you know, I speak to Elohim. I do. How you know who you talking to? You might have gotten some direction from Elohim. That don't mean that's who you're talking to. Go ahead.
And you are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power, in whom also you are circumcised with the circumcision made without hands, in the putting off the body of the sins of the flesh by the circumcision of Yahshua. Buried with him in baptism.
See, we don't understand the power of the baptism and what all we have done when we decide to get that baptism and still walk in the oldness of our lives. Go ahead.
Wherein also you are risen with him through the faith of the operation of Elohim, who has raised him from the dead. And you, being dead in your sins and the uncircumcision of your flesh, has he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses, blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to his cross.
Now, what you'll find at this point is where people then say that they can do whatever it is they want to do. But what they don't understand is these ordinances about the animal sacrifice was a lot of things. You couldn't just bring any old animal. The animal had to be dealt with one way. It has to be prepared this way. It has to be burned this way. Only these people can eat it. We're giving you a perfect sacrifice. Every last ordinance, as it pertains to animal sacrifice, has been taken away and set on the shelf. Don't even deal with that. But now, people want to take that and say, you know, see, this is why I can rob my neighbor right here. Because don't let nobody judge you. See, I don't let nobody judge me. That's why I rob next door. Okay, but then as soon as they house get robbed, now they crying foul. Dude, where 911 at? Hold on. I thought you told me, you know what I'm saying, that you are not held by any law. So why is the law important when somebody stole your stuff? Go ahead.
And having spoiled principalities and powers, he made a show of them openly, triumphing over them in it. Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Shabbat days, which are a shadow of things to come.
Which are a shadow of things to come. So what people are going to try to tell you, they're not going to read the which are a shadow of things to come. They're going to read the one verse above that and then say, that's why they don't have to keep any of those days. Go ahead.
But the body is of Yahshua. Let no man beguile you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels.
Now, and you're going to find that most of the things that we end up encountering with the worshipers of the book of Enoch, they want to deal with, it is basically a worshiping of angels, because everything that they have is based on a heavy angel interaction. When you talk about the children of Israel, you might have one person who might have talked to an angel twice in their entire life, might have Yahweh deal with them twice. When we get down to these doctrines and traditions of men, all of a sudden you run into these doctrines where one person has entertained an angel for 2 books worth. The angel done went and got him some crystals with cheese with fries. Wait a minute, man. What? The angel took you by crystals? The angel went in the drive-thru? All of a sudden now the angel doing all kind of stuff with him. Yeah, man, I was going to do something, and the angel came to the movie and said, don't watch that. What? But you have patriarchs, holy people. They might have had 2 encounters. Yet when people want to set up their religion or whatever that is, all of a sudden they done had 52 encounters with an angel. Isn't that interesting? Go ahead.
Intruding into those things which he has not seen, vainly puffed up by his fleshly mind.
Right. Let no man beguile you of your reward in a voluntary humility and worshiping of angels, intruding into those things which he has not seen. And what really, really gets people, or where we end up getting the most pushback, is when we deal with women and angels. So they have the angels coming down to earth and so-called being with women. It's amazing to me how much people want that to happen. It is utterly amazing. Like, okay, so if it did, what in the hell? How do you benefit that? How does that add to your salvation? If an angel came down and slept with women, bruh, if we got to compete with angels, we're gonna lose. How many sisters gonna be you? I ain't seen you floating down time. You better go on, little pipsqueak. Look at that. You better put that up. You go on a little bit with your little self.
Say we didn't need a nightlight. He was glowing.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. I had the nightlight on when he got in there. Right. What is the fascination with this? Like, if somebody does, how does this benefit you? You know, it's funny because all I ever see combating this are men. The whole thing that was about, it was supposedly angels as men who then slept with women. If anything, you would think the women would be talking about, yeah, I got me an angel. What the hell you bragging for?
You should be upset.
You should be mad as hell. Yeah, well, how I'm going to compete with that?
But you know, you got to think about that that's all intertwined in Greek mythology, Roman mythology, and what you get caught up in is what is fraternities in the order of.
Brother, if your lady ex-man was an angel. Hey, bro, I ain't trying to hurt your feelings or nothing. Cause you know, every brother think he be putting it down. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, bro, I don't mean hurt your feelings and that. Now, wait a minute. If he can shape shift, hey man, what the hell I'm gonna do with that? What the hell I'm gonna do with that, bro? What?
Brother, his touch alone is different.
Hey, bro. But this is the interesting part. It's not women having these discussions. It has all been men every time. 20 years in the Word. Never heard a sister argue this point ever. Go ahead, brother. You got something?
You know what else I ain't never heard, Creek? If angels slept with the women, what are little baby angels that been delivered at the hospital? Should have a bunch of angels.
Hey, it should be something, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Have you? I ain't never seen the offspring of an angel and a regular person. You know what I'm saying? But you know what you're dealing with? You're dealing with interspecies at this point, right? So ask yourself something. Why you ain't never seen the offspring of a dog and a cat? I mean, wait a minute. Now they got the same materials. All right? Why don't you see a cat dog just come down the street and bark and meow all together? Why? Why? So for some reason, this seems to be a big thing among men, and I can't figure out what are you getting out of it. Go ahead, brother. Did you have something?
Honestly, it's all satanic. The reason why I say that is because people try to find any way to discredit Yahweh and his work. So somehow something had to come down from the sky and make some miracle on earth that create like a lot of that doctrine and thought process come from, well, somebody had to build the pyramids, or where the giants come from. Mm-hmm. And you came out with the new moon that time explaining the giants and stuff. So it's like they try to find any way to discredit Yahweh in his situation. So they try to say, well, the angels came down and made these super babies and all that, but we ain't got no documentation, no history of none of that actually happened. And everyone also wants to live this Avengers and Justice League life where they think like we're all mutants and some crazy stuff.
Hey, if I drink enough cognac, hey man, I'm Thor. I think my hammer is the best. I hit somebody from the living room and the hammer come back. Now in my mind, when the cognac is perfectly mixed with the Coca-Cola, magnifico. All right, let me get on that second one. But come on, man. And see, let's go deal with the giants, because that caused a big problem. Let's go to Genesis chapter 6.
You know, while we go into the giants, I'm glad you brought that up, my brother. Let's think modern day. Let's say that these giants that we've heard throughout history were the offspring of this mating. Do you understand how weak of offsprings those are? All these giants have joint issues. They die at a young age. They're not as superior as people think they are. These people have serious ailments.
Not if you're an angel giant. See, that's different. Kid. See, you've been eating too many mangoes. Put the mango down, my brother.
Hey,
Bag away from the mango and the coconuts.
Better that than the loco weed.
Hey, brother. Let's go Genesis chapter 6 and start at verse 1. And it says this is dealing with increasing corruption on earth.
And it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them.
Men have begun to multiply on the face of the earth. It is amazing that we can start with men multiplying on the face of the earth, and in somebody else's mind,
it ain't but two people there. You know what I'm saying? It ain't but two of them now. What's your name and what's your name? It ain't but two of them.
Men are multiplying on the face of the earth. Not adding, multiplying. Go ahead.
And I just want to say this as we continue. For those who are viewing, if you get lost and don't understand, please send messages. If you're out of state, asking for more clarity. If you are a part of the congregation that comes to class, ask questions when you arrive, just in case you get twisted and lost within this Bible study. Don't lean to your own understanding.
And don't take it 8, 9 months, years, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and still have that question, but you're too afraid to ask the question. So now this misunderstanding is growing. Go ahead.
That the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose.
Right. And I don't know why this is so confusing. What was said concerning Esau? Don't let him marry none one of these women. Them daughters of men. Why is that so confusing? Go all the way over here go get one of these women because they raised right. How is that confusing? There are several situations where it says, okay, it repenteth me if you pick one of these women over here. Don't you marry now one of these women. So I don't know how all of a sudden this becomes mystical, but this is because they want it to be mystical because it has to fit something else. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years.
All right. And like you pointed out, if we are dealing with angels doing that and he cut down the lifespan of man, where's the punishment for the angels who are at this point into, I can't say bestiality, but I guess I can say humanality, but they ain't human. But when you keep watching that Star Trek and Star Wars, hey, let me tell you something, man. Hey, Kirk done went to some far off places, and that green chick looked pretty good when you get way out there. You know what I'm saying? Well, she is colored. No, hold on, bro. So now we seem to think this is okay. Go ahead.
But here's the problem, all right? The sons of Elohim, right, are sleeping with the daughters of men.
Mm-hmm.
But then Yahweh said, I won't always strive with man. But man ain't doing this. What you married with the man for?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you be man with the man?
That is a very interesting point. Where is the man? You see the sons of Elohim, if they angels, and women. How in the hell did the man get punished and it's the women who over there
With the angel.
trying to date in the clouds? They down there just hollering at the clouds.
Excuse me, can you come down and talk to us?
But the poor man who can't compete with the angel gonna get punished.
Boy, he got punished twice, didn't he? First of all, these dude done came down here, took your woman. And then you get punished after they done took your woman. So this dude can really say, I give you the moon and stars, and actually grab it. Just grab the moon. Here you go. I put Keisha. Put that in your living room. Now how I'm supposed to compete with that man? The dude don't put the moon in Keisha's living room. Right. Go ahead.
There were giants in the earth in those days. And also after that, when the sons of Elohim came in on.
And see, that's all you got to do. You got giants and sons of Elohim. Boom. They done already said. Now, the giants, sons of Elohim, because we read that sons of Elohim were angels in Job. Now, here, man is so limited. He doesn't understand what's written in Romans and other places. For those who follow, who are directed by the Spirit, they are the sons of Elohim. But now we all of a sudden limited when it fits us. So now we want to make these angels, these giants. Now we've mixed those together. Keep going.
Like I was saying to you last night about this whole thing, that trip, right? So if we go back to verse 2 and we go, that the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And Yahweh said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Let's jump past the trip. And also after that, when the sons of Elohim came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. That whole thought process would be different. But because they put that trip of there were giants in the earth in those days, that automatically goes, angels.
Yep.
But had they just put there were giants in the earth in those days at the end of renown, thought process would have been completely different.
Yeah, because we got to have a reason why they're men of renown. And to that, then, okay, now they connect that to the giants being angels. So then let's define giants, because this is where folks start coming in and they like to use the fancy words right here. This is what you call Nephilim. All right, and it says the giants properly a fella that is a bully or tyrant. Wait a minute. So now we done made the angels We don't mean the giants angels. Now see, now you know we got some problem now, right? Because wait a minute, this book talk about other giants. Now wait a minute. So you got giant cousins, but did one of them is an angel, the other one? Come on, now hold on. Let's go to Numbers chapter 13. Cause see, let's stick with the giants here. All right? Cause I think we done forgot how Israel got to be Israel. Okay? We have completely forgot. Numbers chapter 13 and start at 27. Go ahead, bro.
You know, the brother was mentioning earlier about the new moon class with the Nephilims. You know, and we got to consider something. We put things together to try to get to pinpoint within, whether it's an hour class, a 2-hour class, a 30-minute documentary. If we were to pinpoint and hit every line and every precept, you know how many hours that would be? So yes, we don't get to every line and every precept. Yeah, boy, our viewing would be. Wow.
Man, them brothers long-winded, man. Them brothers been reading since yesterday.
Numbers 13. You start at 27.
And they told him and said, we came onto the land, whether you sent us, and surely it flows with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it.
Wait a minute now, this Canaan land, what we call Israel. Keep going.
Nevertheless, the people be strong that dwell in the land, and the cities are walled and very great. And moreover, we saw the children of Anak there.
Wait a minute. Go ahead.
The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, and the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains, and the Canaanites dwell by the sea and by the coast of Jordan. And Caleb stilled the people before Moshe and said, let us go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. But the men that went up with him said, we be not able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we.
Now wait a minute. Now, these giants, these regular giants. Now if we had giants that was angels and the men scared now. All right, and they wait a minute. They have already seen the power of Yahweh and they scared now. What would have happened all the way back then that you got angels just coming, big bullies, just come around?
Is this your woman?
No. Yeah.
Not no more.
Go ahead.
And they brought up an evil report of the land which they had searched.
They were so scared they brought up an evil report. Go ahead.
Unto the children of Israel, saying, the land through which we have gone to search it is a land that eats up the inhabitants thereof. And all the people that we saw in it are men of a great stature.
Wait, men of great stature, so they big, but they men. Keep reading.
And there we saw the giants, the sons of Anak.
Wait a minute. These ain't Nephilim. They giant, but they ain't no Nephilim. They ain't the Nephilim that they say from heaven. They ain't fallen angels. See how we just mix something and just put it together? So anytime you hear that, it automatically goes to something that really doesn't even define it. So now, when we see giants, now we're going to make them angels. Wait a minute. Yahweh said, go in there. And I'm telling you, slap up on them on giant. What? What man going to slap up on angels? Yahweh, yeah, go ahead. Who going to do that to them angels? One man had the power to wrestle with one, and that's Yaakov. And he couldn't beat him. The angel just couldn't get away from him. But he couldn't beat him.
You know, even if that was happening, first of all, men would have indignation with the angels. And at this point, they would have said, and there we saw the giants, the sons of the angels.
Yep. It would have been all the way through here. I mean, it probably is in somebody else's book. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 2. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter, because I want you to get to a couple of these. Start at verse 9. Deuteronomy 2 and verse 9.
And Yahweh said unto me, distress not the Moabites, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give you of their land for a possession, because I have given it I have given Ar unto the children of Lot for possession. The Emims dwelt therein in times past, a people great and many and tall as the Anakims.
Wait a minute now. Here we go. More angels. Uh-oh. No, they're not angels. They just Shaquille O'Neal's. Oh, okay. All right.
The sons
Go
of
ahead.
Anak, right?
Go ahead. Sons of Anak. Anakims. Go ahead.
Which also were accounted giants,
Okay.
as the Anakims.
Wait a minute. So you got another cousin of giant then. That ain't even these giants. That's some other giants. But ain't none of them came from heaven though. Go ahead.
But the Moabites called them Emims.
All right. So now we got different names for these things here. Now let's jump down to verse 20.
That also was accounted a land of giants. Giants dwelt therein in old time. And the Ammonites called them Zamzumims.
Wait a minute, man. We got all kind of names for angels. Wait a minute. No, they're not angels. God, I keep making that mistake. Wow. What bothereth me? Okay. Let's go now to Deuteronomy chapter 3. See, how we going to make everybody... So, anybody tall, they're an angel now. Damn, Shaquille O'Neal, angel. Mm-hmm. So you mean when I watched the championship, I'm watching angels play? Man, somebody should have told them tickets need to cost more than...
Space Jam.
It really is Space Jam. It's the Monstars. Man. In that case, Jordan should have jumped way past the free throw line. I'm pissed. Because he should have been jumping from the other goal. Deuteronomy chapter 3 and start that at 10.
All the cities of the plain, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, unto Salcach and Edrei, cities of the kingdom of Og in Bashan.
Uh-huh.
For only Og, king of Bashan, remained of the remnant of giants.
Wait a minute. So we talking about a bunch of giants throughout this book. How did all of a sudden a giant become an angel in Genesis, but there ain't no angel in no other part in this book? Something ain't right. And just like my brother asked, have you ever seen the offspring of an angel and a woman? What happened to them? Where are they? Man, Goliath was a giant. How David as a child, as a young man, defeat a so-called angel? Go ahead.
Now, you mentioned interspecies mixing, right?
Uh-huh.
A mule comes from what?
Ooh.
A horse and a donkey. But they can't reproduce.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a liger. It can't reproduce.
Can't reproduce.
So if interspecies, angel and man, and Yahweh said I cut man down to 120, he was including them, what the hell happened to him?
Well, we got two problems then. Because even if these was their offspring, how are they still, procreating anyway?
Right.
So you got a problem on the left and the right. Whichever lie you want to tell, I'm there. Tell which you pick which one you going. And that's the one we're gonna go at. But you let me know which one you going at, and then that's where we'll meet you at. All right? Let's go to Judges chapter 13. Because as we get into this angel worship goes pretty strong. It jumps out there. And we have been pushed to worship angels for a long time. Now, understand something. The adversary, the devil, came to Yahshua and said, if you bow down and worship me. Was he not trying to get worship? Mm-hmm. Is he not an angel? Mm-hmm. Okay. See, we don't even know what we've been coerced into. And instead of us understanding it, we're trying to coerce somebody else into it. Judges 13 and start at verse 6.
Then the woman came and told her husband, saying, a man of Elohim came on to me, and his countenance was like the countenance of an angel of Elohim, very terrible. But I asked him not whence he was, neither told he me his name.
So there was something, he looked like a man, but not. There's this power there that is very, very frightening. Go ahead.
But he said unto me, behold, you shall conceive and bear a son, and now drink no wine nor strong drink, neither eat any unclean thing, for the child shall be a Nazarite to Elohim from the womb to the day of his death. Then Manoah entreated Yahweh and said, O my Adonai, let the man of Elohim which you did send come again unto us, and teach us what we shall do unto the child that shall be born.
Now, the angel came to the woman. Now here go the man praying right here. Elohim, Manoah entreated Yahweh and said, O my Adonai, let the man of Elohim which you did send come again unto us. Keep going.
Now, let's pause there, right?
Uh-huh.
We in Judges. So if in Genesis, the angels was procreating with the women, and now you tell me, my wife tell me, angel, hey, did he touch you?
Right.
What did y'all do?
Did he lay you on a cloud? He better not have showed you his thunder. I swear for God, if you seen his lightning.
Go ahead.
And Elohim hearkened to the voice of Manoah, and the angel of Elohim came again unto the woman.
Wait a minute. Then the angel came back to the woman. This is how sometimes you have some animosity right here.
Well, the angel didn't come to me. I'm the man of the house.
Apparently, that angel know who has sense in that house. Ain't nobody coming to you. Ain't nobody coming to you. You can't what you do. I'm gonna talk to her and I'm gonna let her talk to you. Cause you don't have ain't talking to you. He goes and pray, the angel come back again and still talk to her. Go ahead.
As she sat in the field, but Manoah, her husband, was not with her. And the woman made haste and ran and showed her husband.
Now she got to go get her husband. The angel didn't even come while they were together. Go ahead.
And said unto him, behold, the man has appeared unto me that came unto me the other day. And Manoah arose and went after his wife.
She had to go get him. Now see, how many of us would have had a problem?
Why he ain't come to me? I ain't gonna even follow you. He ain't going out there. I mean, he understands who the head of the house is. He could have came to me. I ain't going out there. I don't care what kind of stuff he gonna say.
You just disrespected my house.
You know.
Didn't Yahweh tell him? Go ahead.
And came to the man and said unto him, are you the man that spake unto the woman? And he said, I am. And Manoah said, now let your words come to pass. How shall we order the child? And how shall we do unto him?
Uh-huh.
And the angel of Yahweh said unto Manoah, of all that I said unto the woman, let her beware.
Man, hold on, bro. Hold on. What shall we do? What I told her. That's what I said to you. What? Now, why does the angel want to deal with this woman and don't want to deal with him? Now, he the only one we know. Not, his name Manoah. What her name? The woman. Her name the woman. Maybe she in that group with her. It's the woman and her. Who is what? Right. Well, you know her name. But the angel did not want to deal with him. Sometimes you got to step aside when you got somebody who might have better spiritual understanding. Don't be swinging around talking about I'm the man of the house. You got to play the role that you can play. If somebody else better at the bills, then I'm going to get, hey, look here go the checkbook. Take care of these bills. I ain't going to sit here talking about I'm the man and then the lights off They done came and got the car. I got money though, but I ain't pay it. Go ahead.
She may not eat of anything that comes of the vine, neither let her drink wine or strong drink, nor eat any unclean thing. All that I commanded her, let her observe. And Manoah said unto the angel of Yahweh, I pray you, let us detain you, until we shall have made ready a kid for you. And the angel of Yahweh said unto Manoah, though you detain me, I will not eat of your bread. And if you will offer a burnt offering, you must offer it unto Yahweh. For Manoah knew not that he was an angel of Yah. And Manoah said unto the angel of Yah, what is your name? That when your sayings come to pass, we may do you honor. And the angel of Yahweh said unto him, why ask you thus after my name, seeing it is secret?
Now this is where things get interesting. Why do you ask my name, seeing it is secret? You know, we got two names throughout the King James Bible, and they both in the Old Testament and in the New. That's Gabriel and Michael. Now, when you get into all of these other doctrines, these other books, all of a sudden, we got a bunch of angels that ain't nobody ever heard of, but we got names coming out the wazoo. This angel, what you want to know my name for? My name's secret. Now, it say when Yahshua come back, he gonna have a name which no man know. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What you want to know my name for? So now as we get into all these other doctrines that have all these names of angels, now we got to ask ourselves a question. Because we quit to talk about fallen angels. Well, how you know you ain't talking to now one of them? Go ahead.
So Manoah took a kid with a meat offering and offered it upon a rock unto Yahweh. And the angel did wondrously. And Manoah and his wife looked on.
All right. So, with that being said, the angel would not tell them his name. Let's go to Exodus chapter 23. And start at verse 20.
Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way.
So the angel got a job. I send an angel before you to keep you in the way. Go ahead.
And he said an angel, right?
Uh-huh.
He ain't say I send Michael with you to keep you in the way.
No.
Or Gabriel. To keep
An
you.
angel.
Okay.
All right? He didn't say I sent no giant. He didn't say I sent some Zamzumans.
Nephilim.
I sent some Enums. Go ahead.
And to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him.
Beware of him.
And obey his voice.
Obey his voice.
Provoke him not.
Provoke him not.
For he will not pardon your transgression. For my name is in him.
Not he say something. My name is in him. So when he speaks and thus says Yahweh, he's speaking with authority. But once again, we have to then ask the question that it was suggested that in Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our image, that must have been a typo. Genesis 11 says, let us go down. He says, behold, I send an angel before you. Wait a minute. Let somebody go take care of that business. It is amazing that, to me that we can get so carnal. Like the owner of Firestone, like he actually changed tires. Like I'm going to go out here and the owner of Firestone, I'm going to pull my car up. He going to come out that office on the 57th floor, come all the way down to the garage and put my 245 6016s on, balance them real good. All right, Sock, you safe, brother. Are you out your? Come on, man. We can't think that. So you think Yahweh comes off of his throne to do this stuff? This is utterly amazing. But when we want to worship something, it's very easy to go down this path because this is something that we want to do. So Exodus 23, it says 21, beware of him, obey his voice, provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgression, for my name is in him. Now, that goes, coincides with my name is secret. You don't know no whole bunch of angels' names, so now we got a issue. This angel won't say the name. Now I want you to go back to that go to that article for a second. I want to.
You know,
read
talking,
something.
you mentioning Yahweh and the angels and all that stuff and the system, right? Ecclesiastic chapter 5 and verse 6 says, suffer not your mouth to cause your flesh to sin. Neither say you before the angel that it was an error. So it comes to the angel first. But then it continues to say, wherefore should Elohim be angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't it say, at least you had to say before Yahweh it was an error?
Let's go to this article, brothers, because we knew of these two angels that we see throughout the book.
Okay.
And then now there's a whole nother doctrine, and that doctrine is based around angels. So they have to love the angel because they don't want to let this doctrine go. Go ahead.
Mormonism really want to know.
Now, which one you got? Read that top right there.
What do Mormons believe about angels?
What do Mormons believe about angels? Go ahead, start right there.
One of the interesting aspects of the LDS churches, Latter-day Saints, claim that the gospel of Jesus Christ was restored to Joseph Smith is our belief that the most important aspects of that restoration came through the ministration of angels.
So their whole thing is based around angels. Now, that in itself is not necessarily an issue until you keep reading. Keep reading.
Joseph Smith claimed that it was an angel, Moroni.
Who in the hell is Moroni? Who is Moroni? Who is that? Keep reading.
The last prophet of the Book of Mormon.
The last prophet of the Book of Mormon. Now you see, so you got to have some kind of voluntary, humility in worshiping of angels, because now the entire doctrine comes from an angel that ain't nobody heard of. Go ahead.
Who directed him to the golden plates that were the source of the Book of Mormon.
Hey, what the hell is golden plates? Go ahead.
He claimed that an angel, John the Baptist, restored the Aaronic priesthood.
Come on, man. So now, understand what's happening. They have levels of angels, and sometimes the dead people can come back as angels. It's all kind of, keep reading.
And the three angels, Peter, James, and John.
Hey, man, come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on. See, this is where you have to put that wacky tobacco down right here, because something is going on. Now, all of these people are angels. It ain't good enough that they just in the book. Now, they got to be transformed into something else. Now, this book says that I know my brother shall rise again in the last day, at the last trump, in the resurrection. Yet, we got these people, all of these people, and they have been transformed into something else. Now, we know the resurrection, they going to have a new body. But keep going.
Restored the Melchizedek priesthood. Melchizedek ain't never supposed to die, but his priesthood had to be restored.
Restored.
Okay.
When he lost it. When did Melchizedek lose his priesthood? When did he die and his priesthood had to be restored by Moroni? Go ahead.
He claimed that several other angels restored other doctrines and authority, including Moshe, Elijah, and Elias. The Book of Mormon contains numerous stories of interactions between angels and prophets of God.
Here we go. Now we have these made up interactions, and the interactions are based on what's already in the book, but then they're going to give you more information about an interaction that's already there. Go ahead.
Along with the many accounts of angels in the Bible, it is evident that angels play an important role in Mormon theology. Clearly, we believe in them. But what do we believe about them? The importance of angels was brought home to me years ago in a talk given by Jeffrey R. Holland, a member of the church's quorum of the 12 apostles. In that talk, Elder Holland said, "May I suggest to you that one of the things we need to teach our students, and one of the things which will become more important in their lives the longer they live, is the reality of angels, their work, and their ministry. Obviously, I speak here not alone of the angel Moroni, but also of those more personal ministering angels who are with us and around us, empowered to help us, and who do exactly that. Perhaps more of us, including our students, could literally, or at least figuratively, behold the angels around us if we would but awaken from our stupor and hear the voice of the Spirit as those angels try to speak."
Now, what the stupor is, these are the very people who said black people was cursed black. They didn't even allow black people in the priesthood. Yet, it is amazing to me that there are black Mormons. How you believe you curse black, and then you still join this? Keep going.
And a 12-year-old is an elder.
12-year-old and elder. Right.
I believe we need to speak of and believe in and bear testimony to the ministry of angels more than we sometimes do. They constitute one of God's great methods of witnessing through the veil. A standard unto my people, addressed to the religious educators at a symposium on the Book of Mormon, Brigham Young University, August 9th, 1994.
Now, I had no idea. Somebody just said this to me, that Brigham Young is a Mormon college. That is why a lot of the people stopped taking the scholarships, because they got to convert to be a Mormon to get the scholarship. Go ahead.
Mormons believe that there are 3 types of angels that might be sent to minister.
And that's BYU, by the way. Go ahead.
That might minister to mortal people. The first is the spirits of people who have not yet been born into mortality. The second is spirits of people who already have lived on earth.
Now, where exactly is this coming from? Go ahead. Maybe they was in the plates. I didn't see the golden plates. That's what the problem is. Go ahead.
The last category would be people who have lived on earth, died, and subsequently been resurrected.
Now, understand now, if you got all of this, you know, and it's been pushed off in you, then when you get to something else, guess what happens? All of this starts bubbling up because you still want a place for all this. So now we not only just have angels, we got all kinds of situations with angels. See? Go ahead.
Recall that the New Testament tells us that the graves were opened and many were resurrected following the resurrection of Christ. We believe that any of these
Don't you put my God name in there. Don't you put my God name. I swear for you about to hear some patois. You keep it up. Don't you put my God name in there. You better read that Christ.
We believe that any of these types of personages may visit us as necessary. One of the early presidents of the LDS Church, Wilford Woodruff, taught that such visitations only occur where the work to be performed only could be performed by an angel. Desert
Now certain other things that we've heard starts to make sense. You can't put limitations on the angels because now you got all these different entities who can become angels. So a man can die and then become an angel. What? Okay, go ahead.
That means that such visitations are not something that occur with a high degree of frequency, and certainly not for the purpose of showing us how cool angels are. Such angels are not the subject of worship by Mormons. Rather, we believe that anything done by an angel is done at the direction and under the authority of Jesus Christ. We do not pray to angels or otherwise venerate them.
That's what they said. But remember, Israel was presented with a brazen serpent. After a while, they had to destroy the brazen serpent because they started burning incense to it. Okay, go ahead.
Granted, most of our temples are adorned with a statue of the angel Moroni.
Really? Really? But we don't worship them. We don't venerate them. We don't do that. But we got a statue right outside, and you know what I'm saying? We can, you know what I'm saying? When we come in, we let them know. You know, we appreciate it. Go ahead.
Blowing a horn on their steeples. But that statue is merely symbolic of the restoration of the gospel, as it was Moroni who first taught Joseph Smith and introduced him to the ancient record that would be translated as the Book of Mormon.
It's the ancient record that was translated and given to him, and Moroni did that. All right. Go ahead, Moroni. Do that. Go ahead,
We
bro.
believe that Moroni fulfills the prophecy in Revelation 14:6 of an angel bringing forth the everlasting gospel, and this imagery adorns our temples. Incidentally, I used to wear a tie pin of the angel Moroni, but I gave it up because it kept turning upside down and looked instead like someone golfing. One distinction between the Mormon belief in angels and some other Christians is that Mormons believe that angels do not have wings. While this may seem doctrinally insignificant, it actually is quite important to understand the nature of angels. We believe that our spirits before we come to earth were in the form of men and women.
All right, stop now. Stop now. We believe that our spirits before we come to earth were in the form of men and women. Now not the black one.
Mm-hmm.
See, they had that see the black one. See, they got cursed black. Man, come on, man. So really, we back to the stork bringing the baby to the house then, right? Because they wasn't born, they were brought. Go ahead.
And therefore, when such angels appear, it will be in the form and likeness of man. Similarly, we believe that all of us will be resurrected into the same form that we have now. And therefore, like Christ, all resurrected beings will look like men or women.
Right. So what the black one's gonna look? Are they gonna be raised up to serve the white one? So they're gonna go to heaven and be servants in heaven. So they're gonna be heaven. Motisa. In heaven. You're gonna go to heaven and become a part of the Motisa tribe. Go ahead, brother.
Stated differently, since man is created in the image of God and God is perfect, then angels don't need to be dressed up in wings in order to reflect his glory.
All right. Let's see if there's anything in here. It's biblical. All right, let's go back. So when it talks about being renewed in the spirit of your mind, it makes sense that when we entertain all of these old things and then we don't come in the newness of our mind, what happened is if you got all of this in your mind, it starts attacking the doctrine as you start to learn. And it made sense to me. I had a situation where, I knew a brother and the brother just stopped talking to me because another brother told him, to stop talking to me. But that brother was in charge. But then I looked at what that brother used to be. He used to be a Jehovah's Witness. Now, Jehovah's Witnesses have excommunication. Once you do something wrong in for JW, you get excommunicated. They can see you at Walmart and they can't speak to you because you have been excommunicated. So then it made sense why this brother it was okay. It was so easy for him to cut everybody off that the leader said cut off because he already held that doctrine inside from JW. See? So then these things start to make sense. It's already in there, so it gets easier for them to deal with it. So let's go to Tobit. We got to go to the Apocrypha. Tobit chapter 12.
Start in verse 1.
Yeah.
Tobit chapter 12 and verse 1.
Let me see. No, start at 12.
Okay.
12 and 12.
Now therefore, when you did pray, and Sarai your daughter-in-law, I did bring the remembrance of your prayers before the Holy One. And when you did bury the dead, I was with you likewise. And when you did not delay to rise up and leave your dinner to go and cover the dead, your good deed was not hid from me, but I was with you. And now Elohim has sent me to heal you and Sarai your daughter-in-law. I am Raphael.
Who?
Raphael,
Okay.
one of the 7 holy angels.
Wait a minute. How many? What? How many? So it's just 7 holy ones? Yahshua said, I can make a call to my Father and get legions of angels. But you telling me ain't but 7 of them holy? Boy, Yahweh must be going bankrupt in heaven. He ain't got but 7. Yahshua said that. It says ministering spirits, angels came to minister unto him. It ain't but 7 holy ones. Okay, go ahead.
Which present the prayers of the saints and which go in and out before the glory of the Holy One.
Right. Now, because you have this humility and worshiping of angels, you're going to have where a lot of different religions come and grab a hold to the same things because they want to worship this. You know, this is almost like, saying, hey, this is like your best movie, man. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy right here, man. You know what I'm saying? All we missing is the little raccoon dude. We get a little raccoon, I am Groot. You know what I'm saying? You get the other guy, you got everything in. Go ahead.
Then they were both troubled and fell upon their face, for they feared. But he said unto them, Fear not, for it shall go well with you. Praise Elohim, therefore. For not of any favor of mine, but by the will of our Elohim I came. Wherefore praise him forever.
Mm-hmm.
All these days I did appear unto you, but I did neither eat nor drink, but you did see a vision.
Whoa. All these days I did appear unto you, but I did neither eat nor drink. Yahweh said that manna was the bread of angels. When I read, the angels ate. Did Raphael don't eat?
It's not pizza.
You telling me that Teenage Mutant Ninja?
Yep.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Angels, Teenage Mutant Ninja Angels. Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Now therefore give Elohim thanks, for I go up to him that sent me, but write all things which are done in a book.
Uh-huh.
And when they arose, they saw him no more. Then they confessed the great and wonderful works of Elohim, and how the angel of the Adonai had appeared unto them.
All right. So now we have, first of all, the question of 7 holy angels. So let's go to Revelation chapter 15. All right, we're gonna come back to that book over there. So don't try not to lose your place. because we're going to go back to Tobit. Revelation 15, start that at verse 1.
And I saw another sign in heaven, great and marvelous, 7 angels having the 7 last plagues.
Oh, that is. So these the holy ones. These the holy ones. So the rest of them, man, they like peon angels. They you know what I'm saying? They ain't got no rank. You know what I'm saying? They don't really do nothing. This must be the 7. But you see how one story is grabbed, and then the thought process of that story is then put into something else. I'm one of the 7 holy. You mean tell me he ain't got but 7 holy? It's supposed to be a war fought between the adversary, the devil, and it says he took 1/3 of the angels. It says he cast 1/3 of the stars of heaven down to the earth. So what the hell is 1/3 of 7? Hell, Go ahead.
So that means Michael, Gabriel, and...
But here's the problem. When you start reading that thing, you're going to come up with more than 7. Here's the problem. Even in their doctrine, they got more than 7 angels. See? This is how you know, man, it's different strands of that wacky tobacco. You know what I'm saying? See, you can get some of that North Mountain wacky tobacco, or you can get that South Mountain. It burns different. That's what I heard. Go ahead, bro.
For in them is filled up the wrath of Elohim. And I saw it as it were a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, having the harps of Elohim. And they sing the song of Moshe, the servant of Elohim, and the song of the Lamb, saying, Great and marvelous are your works, El Shaddai. Just and true are your ways, you King of saints. Who shall not fear you, O Adonai, and glorify your name? For you only are holy. For all nations shall come and worship before you, for your judgments are made manifest. And after that I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of the testimony in heaven was opened. And the 7 angels came out of the temple, having the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and white linen, and having their breasts girded with golden girdles. And one of the 4 beasts gave unto the 7 angels 7 golden vials full of the wrath of Elohim, who lives forever and ever.
So then you see that these certain aspects are taken and then made into something else. These ain't all the holy angels just because these 7 have a job to do. Go ahead.
And the temple was filled with the smoke from the glory of Elohim and from his power. And no man was able to enter into the temple till the 7 plagues of the 7 angels were fulfilled.
All right, let's go back to Tobit, and we're going to go to chapter 5. Brother, are you humming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, bro?
Huh?
Golly, bro.
Hey, you started it.
Wow, bro. They're deep right here. All right, Tobit chapter 5 and start at verse 1.
Tobias then answered and said, Father, I will do all things which you have commanded me. But how can I receive the money, seeing I know him not? Then he gave him the handwriting and said unto him, Seek you a man which may go with you, whilst I yet live, and I'll give him wages, and go and receive the money. Therefore, when he went to seek a man, he found Raphael that was an angel.
All right, so here go Raphael. Go ahead.
But he knew him not. And he said unto him, Can you go with me to Rages, and knoweth you those places well? To whom the angel said, I'll go with you, and I know the way well, for I have lodged with other brothers, Gabriel.
Now, how, if people are openly talking about fallen angels, how do they know that they're not worshiping those? I mean, if you're so into the giants and the fallen angels, the Nephilim, how you know? Okay, go ahead.
Last part of verse 6. For I have lodged with our brother Gabriel. Then Tobias said unto him, tarry for me, till I tell my father. Then he said unto him, go and tarry not. So he went in and said to his father, behold, I have found one which will go with me. Then he said, call him unto me, that I may know of what tribe he is, and whether he be a trusty man to go with you.
So he an angel and he from a tribe. Hey, what the tribe of is 12 tribes? Is 12 tribes of Raphael? I'm just asking, man. I'm trying to figure this out, man. All right? What tribe the angel? So the angel, what? With 12 tribes of Israel, so maybe it's okay, go ahead, bro.
So he called him,
Uh-huh.
and he came in, and they saluted one another. Then Tobit said unto him, brother, show me of what tribe and family you are. To whom he said, does you seek for a tribe or family, for an hired man to go with your son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother, your kindred and name. Then he said, I am Azarias, the son of Ananias the Great, and of your brethren.
Who the hell is he? So Raphael is Osiris, and his daddy name Ananias the Great. Who the hell is this? Hey, who your daddy, man?
Who's the Ananias and Sapphira? That Ananias?
Well, let me ask you something. Melchizedek had no father, no mother.
Mm-hmm.
But this dude got a daddy, and he got different name too. He got name, I guess, depending on who. Maybe did he change into?
Oh man, it's like Daniel.
Because you can't limit the angel. You can't limit. So maybe I'm limiting him because at this point he can be,
You know, it's Daniel and Belteshazzar. You know what I'm saying? That kind of change.
Okay. All right.
Then,
But they know his daddy though. Go ahead.
then Tobit said, you're welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I've inquired to know your tribe and your family.
Uh-huh.
For you are my brother,
Uh-huh.
of an honest and good stock.
Uh-huh.
For I know Ananias and Jonathas, sons of that great Samias, as we went together to Jerusalem to worship, and,
For real?
and offered the firstborn and the tenth of the fruits. And they were not seduced with the error of our brethren. My brother, you are of a good stock.
Uh-huh.
But tell me, what wages shall I give you? Will you be will you a drachm a day, and things necessary as to mine own son?
Now, how you know the whole family of an angel? How? Did they go to Angel High? And maybe they met in Nephilim Middle School? What? How he know his whole family? Now, wait a minute, because the other ones in the book say, man, what you know my name for? Saying it's secret. So we know that the one, if you know their name, they rank high. We know Gabriel and Michael got rank. But who these?
Now, hold on now. Angels appear in the form of men, but demons have to inhabit men.
Uh-huh.
So if this is somebody that he knows, is this an angel evil that have taken over the son of Ananias?
That's very interesting, bro. That's a very, very interesting point you have made, my mango-loving brother. Go ahead and read that.
Yea, moreover, if you return safe, I'll add something to your wages.
Uh-huh.
So they were well pleased, then said to Tobias, prepare yourself for the journey, and Elohim send you a good journey. And when his son had prepared all the things for the journey, his father said, go you with this man, and Elohim, which dwells in heaven, prosper your journey, and the angel of Elohim keep you company. So they went forth both, and the young man's dog with them. But Anna, his mother, wept and said to Tobit, Why have you sent away our son? Is he not the staff of our hand in going in and out before us? Be not greedy to add money to money, but let it be as refuse in respect to our child. For that which the Adonai has given us to live with does suffice us. Then said Tobit to her, Take no care, my sister, he shall return in safety, and your eyes shall see him. For the good angel will keep him company, and his journey shall be prosperous, and he shall return safe. Then she made an end of weeping.
Okay. No matter how you want to deal with that, if you say, well, maybe you're looking at this wrong, maybe you're doing it. Here's the thing. What has actually gotten added to my salvation by reading any of what we just read? How am I grown? How has my Elohim been magnified? How has his law been glorified? What has happened? I have wasted minutes of your life and mine too. Because there's absolutely nothing that is going to do. Keep reading. Keep reading. Let's go to chapter 6.
I actually feel a little bit dumber.
Hey, bro. It's something, because at some point you can get too much detail, and it's like you have all this detail. Okay, so where does the detail fit? Okay, what is the significance of that amount of detail? All right, so let's go chapter 6 and verse 1.
And as they went on their journey, they came in the evening to the river Tigris, and they lodged there. And when the young man went down to wash himself, a fish leapt out of the river and would have devoured him. Then the angel said unto him, Take the fish. And the young man laid hold of the fish and drew it to the land.
So the angels told him, take the fish. All right, go ahead.
To whom the angel said, Open the fish.
Open the fish.
And take the heart and the liver and the gall.
And the liver and the gall.
And put them up safely.
And store these safely. All right, we need the heart, the liver, the gall. Hey, man, there's a whole lot of stuff I'm missing out of a fish because I don't remember seeing all that in a fish. I'm not one to gut a fish because, it bothers me when you be cooking them fish with the head on it. But I done got used to it because I know that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? You Comanians. Look here. But, hey, man, you cook fish. Mm-hmm. Where you get this at? Where? How? Well, I guess it was a big fish, so maybe it was a big. Where the liver and the gall and the heart and the fish at?
It's when you gutting them, all in that.
All that?
Yeah.
Okay. So and when you gut, you can keep that.
I'm not trying to keep it.
No. I'm asking you can separate that because these are the liver and the gall and the heart. You can separate those. Because these supposed to be, these gonna be separated. They're not all going together. These separated. So when you gun them, you can pull them out.
I'm gonna bring a hole when we figure it out. We'll figure it out together.
All right. Go ahead.
So the young man did as the angel commanded him. And when they had roasted the fish, they did eat. They did eat it. Then they both went on their way till they drew near to Ecbatan. Then the young man said to the angel, Brother Azarias.
I'm sorry, who?
Azarias.
Okay.
To what use is the heart and the liver and the gall of the fish? And he said unto him, Touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or an evil spirit trouble
Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. So now, come on, bruh. So Yahweh can't protect me. I need the gall of the fish. Give me the liver and the heart. It's gonna protect me from the evil spirits.
But yet I got an angel with me.
Come on, bro. Hey, yeah. It reminds me of this thing that's happening now. Folks will tell you they'll get sick and they say, well, the jab has protected me. Have you noticed that Jesus didn't work against the epidemic? He got all kind of credit until the epidemic started. He didn't get no credit no more. Now everybody need to go get medicine. I thought you said you believed in Jesus. Even when they feel better, they said, well, the medicine good. Oh, okay. So now we need the heart and the liver and the gall, whatever the hell that is. And it's going to protect us against, don't read it, brother.
So hold on. So when Yahshua did the 12 loaves and the fishes, he was gathering this to put them demons out later on.
Maybe he put the liver in the bread. Go ahead, bro. I don't know, man.
We must make a smoke thereof before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed.
Okay, and he said unto him, touching the heart and the liver, if a devil or evil spirit trouble any, we must make a smoke thereof before the man or the woman, and the party shall be no more vexed. Go ahead.
As for the gall,
Uh-huh.
it is good to anoint a man
Come on,
that
bro.
has whiteness
Hold on,
in his
bro.
eyes.
Come on, bro.
And
So
he should be
we gonna take fish guts and put it in his eyes. He ain't never gonna see. So why didn't Yahshua, when he spit on the ground and put dirt over the eye, why he ain't said, look here, go give me some fish guts and just put that right on your eye? Go ahead.
You know, as we reading this, you might be surprised. Maybe this is where some of the voodoo rituals come from.
Bruh, don't this sound like some ritual, bruh? Don't this sound like it? So I can't pray to my Elohim. I need to go get some fish guts, the gall, whatever that is. I gotta find the heart. Maybe this is why Red Lobster going out of business right here. Because man, you got to ward off all these spirits. They going out there, they can't find the Admiral's feast ain't even good no more. Because you got to ward off these evil spirits, man. They got to get all the gall out the fish. Go ahead, bro.
And when they were come near to Rages,
Uh-huh.
the angel said to the young man, Brother, today we shall lodge with Raguel, who is your cousin.
Oh, okay.
He also has one only daughter named Sarah. I will speak for her that she may be given you for a wife.
Go ahead, bro.
For to you does the right of her appertain, seeing you only are of her kindred. And the maid is fair and wise. Now therefore hear me, and I'll speak to her father. And when we return from Rages, we will celebrate the marriage. For I know that Raguel cannot marry her to another according to the law of Moshe, but he shall be guilty of death, because the right of inheritance does rather pertain to you than to any other. Then the young man answered the angel, I have heard, brother Azarias, that this maid has been given to 7 men, who all died in the marriage chamber.
Hey, bro. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. I apologize. Go ahead, bro.
And now I'm the only son of my father.
I'm the only son of my father. Now, wait a minute. We can't find this. Yahshua, what other writing deals with 7 men going on to 1 woman and it being the same family other than Yahshua? What other story? So was this plagiarized of Yahshua or did Yahshua plagiarize it? How did we get this situation? And here's the miraculous thing. Every time you have the same story, but then there's all this extra information. Where did this extra information come from? Oh, and you got extra names too, because we have names of all kind of people. Go ahead.
Hey, man, when they told the story to Yahshua, they left this other brother out, man. Because remember, they said all 7 had it, then she died.
Yeah, but I need you to understand how deep this is right here. It said, verse 13, then the young man answered the angel and said, I've heard, brother Azarias, that this maid, how she a maid?
Right.
If she done had 7 men, she done been married 7 times, but she's still a maid. So whoever wrote this dumb hell, all right, so had been given to 7 men who all died in the marriage chamber. They died in the bedroom. Boy, that's the Black Widow. Did she eat them after she... I don't blame him. I'm not going in there. I don't want it. I don't need it. No. Not she has had 7 men. She done killed them all. They all gone away from here. And they all died in a bed. Hey, bro, let me tell you something. He not smart. Cause let me tell you something. Once the first one died in the bed, 2 through 7 is the dumbest negroidal people on the face of the earth. You mean tell me they died in the room? They went to the bed chamber. Mm-hmm. And they carried him out. She literally loved him to death. I don't want nothing like that. Wow. This heavy, bro. Go ahead.
And I'm afraid. At least
You
if I
damn right. That's the only thing I agree with in this whole thing. Damn it, I'm scared. Go ahead.
At least if I go in on to her, I die, as the other before.
That is a very good thought process. What make you think that you better than them 7? Go ahead.
For a wicked spirit loves her.
A wicked spirit loves her. You know what? Only if he had that fish gall and the heart.
He do.
Uh-oh. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For a wicked spirit loves her, which hurts nobody but those which come on to her. Wherefore I also fear lest I die and bring my father's and my mother's life because of me to the grave with sorrow, where they have no other son to bury them. Then the angel said unto him, Does you not remember the precepts which your father gave you, that you should marry a wife of your own kindred? Wherefore hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given you to wife, and make you no reckoning of the evil spirit. For this same night shall she be given you in marriage. And when you shall come into the marriage chamber, you shall take the ashes of perfume, and shall lay upon them some of the heart and liver of the fish, and shall make a smoke with it.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. But I tell you, brother, this ain't rituals. I don't know what this is. So wait a minute. Let me tell you something. I done seen, love movies. They come, they got the candles. You know what I'm saying? They got the perfume. But I'd be damned if somebody come into my bed with fish guts talking about some, look, we finna make love. You don't get that damn fish guts out of here. Something ain't right. Go ahead.
And the devil shall smell it.
Oh my God. I smell it too. Go ahead.
And never come again anymore.
Oh my God. For real, bro. This is what we doing. But see, this is where the worshiping of angels, this is where you gonna end up. Gathering fish hearts and gall and putting it in your bedroom and burning ashes with it. Go ahead, bro.
But when you shall come to her, rise up both of you, and pray to Elohim, which is merciful.
How I'm going to pray with all this stinking here? Go ahead.
Who will have pity on you and save you. Fear not, for she is appointed unto you from the beginning. And you shall preserve her, and she shall go with you. Moreover, I suppose that she will bear you children.
Well, I mean, she done killed so many. I hope there's life in there, because it sure is death in there. Go ahead.
But it says she is appointed to you from the beginning. But 7 other people went there before me?
Well,
All right. Now when Tobias had heard these things, he loved her, and his heart was effectually joined to her.
yeah, man. I mean, he loved the fact that she didn't kill him. I mean, you know, that's love worthy right there. Well, I'm sure there's some things that we didn't get to. Cause we ain't gonna be here all night. All right? But if we're gonna deal with this word, at some point we have to think about those old doctrines that were given unto us, and instead of trying to find a place for them, we need to set all of that to the side and then say, okay, let me start with my Elohim with a clean slate. But it's hard to teach somebody when they think they already know. And if you already have old doctrine up in there, it's going to be hard for you to deal with anything else. So if you already believe in burning sage and you warding off witches and warlocks and you ride a broom through the house every Thursday, then hey, this stuff is going to fit you. But if you're actually trying to leave that stuff alone, look, when I got in this word, at one point, man, my family was so happy when I finally did it. Man, the hole under my sink was full of them damn candles. You know what I'm saying? Because when you deal with those people and you dealing with the mystical stuff, I had every color candle. I had the black candle to ward off evil. I had the red candle for love. I had the green candle for money. I had a white candle for purity. So you burn the candles depending on what you had going on at that moment. And what you're doing is taking the power of Elohim and putting it in that damn thing. That's what you're doing. But that's all we're going to do for the night. Brother, would you lead us out with a prayer? Bro, you look like you got...
I'm not in the right frame of mind, brother.
Come on, bro. As long as you don't say Moroni or nothing like that, you all right. Come on, bro.
All right, let's rise and face the east. Abba Father Yah, the El of Abraham, Esaac, and Yaakov, the Most High Covenant Elohim of Israel. O merciful Father Yah, I ask that you'll show us mercy and be with us, O Heavenly Father. I pray and I ask you to keep us on this narrow path that leads to salvation, O Heavenly Father. I pray that you'll purge the wickedness of this world out of us, O Heavenly Father. Take self-will away from us, O Heavenly Father, and allow your will to be what drives us and guides us day in and day out, O Heavenly Father. I pray that you'll forgive the sins of our forefathers, our sins, and forgive the sins of our children, O Heavenly Father. Almighty Yahweh, in Yahshua's name, I humbly come to you and pray and ask these things of you. Amen and hallelujah.
Amen.